Hey, what's going on, guys? In this video, we're gonna go over choosing the initial paint colors for the Man Cave 2.0. Now, I mentioned in my first video, the color scheme will be pretty much black on the walls or on the ceilings. I'll probably have some type of drop ceiling. Actually, it'll look like trim to hide the wires and speakers and stuff that'll drop down about 6 inches or so. That possibly may be a different shade of black just to make that pop a little bit. And then the doors and the trim in this room are all going to be black. And then I envision all the walls are going to be gray. But when I really did some research and saw what other people were using for Sherwin-Williams in their home theater room, there was various different colors, and I kind of narrowed it down to 3 different blacks and 7 different grays. And I want to try like all these different combinations of what this black looks like with this gray. And then I want to try the combinations of the blacks together to see, possibly maybe go the blackest black on the ceiling and maybe the blackest black on the home theater wall. But the doors and the trim and then that little bit of drop down trim to hide the speakers, maybe I'll go a different, like a lighter shade of black. So anyhow, this is what this step's gonna be. I'm gonna go ahead and turn the camera around, kind of show you guys the different paint colors and what the plan is. So here are all the different colors that I got. Now these 4 here are all various shades of black, whereas that tricorn on the end is the very blackest black. And then on the left here are the 7 different grays I got, with the last being this concrete paint, which gives a very cool look to it. And we'll see how it looks on the wall, but I'm definitely right now leaning on going with this concrete. But we'll see. So I pretty much created this spreadsheet, and I'm going to try all these different combos. So for each different black, I'm going to try all these different grays and see kind of what they look like together. And then basically on the wall, I created all these squares where on the outside, I'll put the black, and then on the inside, I'll put the gray. So like this entire top row will be the tricorn black, and then I'll have the 7 different grays, and I can kind of see, which one really goes with that paint color the best. And then I'll do that with all the other grays also. So anyhow, this is the first step. The next is actually getting the paint on the wall. So I've got all the black boxes painted. Of course, I still need to add on the gray. I thought I'd just do a quick video showing the 4 different black colors that I have on here, which is tricorn black, which is their blackest black, Black Magic, which is very close, and Inkwell, which has a little bit of a blue hue into it. And then on this other side here, I've got something that they called iron ore that I saw someone else used in their theater. And you can definitely tell it has a different shade of black. But interesting on this wall, it's kind of hard to tell the difference between the 3, especially these top 2. They almost look identical. But these boxes that I painted here, I've got the tricorn black in the middle, and then on the outside I have Black Magic. On the outside of this one I have Inkwell, and then on the outside of this one I have iron ore. And even though on that wall, those top 2 blacks, you really can't tell a difference, but when you see them together on this wall, you can definitely see that the tricorn black, it just
does look like a black hole. So it definitely, when you put them together, it does look like it has a darker shade. So again, I'm trying to figure out, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna go with this black on the home theater wall plus on the ceiling, but on the drop down ceiling, that I'll hide the lighting and speakers and all that in. I'm just looking at possibly doing another black color to kind of make that pop a little bit more. And then it probably would make sense that the trim and the doors would also be painted in that black color. But we'll see. I am kind of digging how dark this tricorn's looking. So it is now time to get all the grays up here and kind of see how each one of these grays look with the 4 different blacks. All right, I have all the grays on the wall, and let me tell you, it was a bit of a pain in the butt to do this, but yeah, let's just kind of go through this. I did add one additional one. I went ahead and spent a couple hours just reading a bunch of forums again, refreshing my memory on what other people were using or suggesting for a home theater. And one of the combos was using this iron ore, and then using that with the black. And as you can see, that's a very dark gray. But for a true home theater, if you want the very best contrast, you're just going black everywhere. And I seen one guy that actually did velvet panels pretty much everywhere, because velvet really is a dark black. And of course that is going to give you the best contrast, but I definitely want to sacrifice a little bit of contrast to actually also have a room that, you know, looks pretty good when the lights are on also. Plus, you know, it's just not the home theater, it's going to be all this area. So I do want it to look decent when the lights are on, and then plus I'm going to be displaying a lot of movie collectibles and replicas too. So honestly, there's probably going to be a full-size Terminator there someday, and that is super reflective to be in a home theater, but you know, I do like having those replica props as part of the experience. So yeah, as mentioned, this is a pretty popular combo. Next one is called Peppercorn, and that's as you can see, it's a little bit lighter color. I think it's pretty sure it's in the same color family, just a slightly lighter. These next two are actually in the blue family, so it's called Outer Space and Green Harbor. And actually this black here, Inkwell, is in the blue family also, or it has it's not in the blue family, it has a slight tint of blue to it. So I did see where some people use these combos in their theater, and that definitely would brighten things up a bit, but you'd have to be keen to kind of like some of that blue color also. Next up is Grizzly Gray. And just kind of looking at these colors, that looks like a shade lighter, or a couple of shades actually, than what Peppercorn is. Or maybe just a shade. It's pretty close, just a little bit lighter. And then next up is Web Gray. And again, that's a little bit lighter. That to me almost has a little bit of mixture of the blue and the grays. It's kind of in between. And then next one is Software, which is definitely brighter. And then we have this concrete paint, which I'm pretty sure I did not apply it correctly. That, or you just kind of need a little bit of a bigger space to really see the effect on it. But ultimately, I've seen some customer images, they get it pretty darn close. It should have more of this effect. And since this is going to be more than a home theater, more of a gallery also, I thought this would look super, super cool. But I need to be able to get this type of effect too. So I think I'm going to choose another wall, kind of do a bigger section and just see, you know, if I can get it to look closer to this. So if it does look close to that, my initial thought was, you know, this is the home theater wall, so it'll be completely black. But I was thinking all the other walls would have that color. But as another option, I could, because the home theater part is pretty much going to end at the end of this wall. And really it'll end somewhere maybe at the end of the fireplace. So I could actually go just in this section where it's the main theater, one of these grays. And then if that cement stuff does work out, put that on these walls. And in reality, all this space here, for the most part, is going to be more of like a gallery of my different display stuff. So like this section here, chances are is gonna be Lord of the Rings. Not positive there, could be a horror section, could be something else. I'm actually got a pretty fancy bar cabinet I'm gonna be putting there. In the middle here is probably going to be a big Marvel DC section. And in this room, it'll probably be a little more 80s themed. I got a lot of Ghostbuster stuff, so it'll probably go on this wall. Indiana Jones, Back to the Future, Men in Black, it's not 80s, but so probably a mixture of 80s and 90s in that area. So yeah, that's kind of my decision points. Now, if I did go with a gray in here, I don't think I would go with probably the most popular, or at least what I saw the most popular home theater choice, the iron ore. I just think, since this isn't really a dedicated home theater room anyhow, just maybe a little bit too dark. So I think right now, my two favorites are going with the peppercorn, which is also pretty darn dark, or the grizzly gray. Kind of like the web gray too, but really I'm not sure if I need to go that light. And of course, if the cement stuff doesn't work out, I think the entire room will be painted, you know, in that gray, whereas the rest of the walls will be in a black, or this wall will be in the black, the ceiling will be black, and the trim and the doors will all be black. So anyhow, got to make these decisions very, very quick. You guys chime in on what you think, and see you on the next video. I'll do a quick video of what this looks like with the lights off, or well, with just one light on. And that iron ore, that first one here on the left, it really does kind of disappear when the lights are off, or when there's hardly any light. So thought I'd just show you guys that. I can see why, you know, in theaters it is a popular choice, because when you get the lights dim and whatnot, it kind of really disappears. Where the other ones, you know, I can still see, you know, that there's color going on there. Hey guys, I appreciate you watching another video. I'm a huge fan of home theater and these movie replica props. I'm going to put out a couple of videos each week in those areas. And if you're a huge fan like I am, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video.